Thank you so much, Lara. Well, as we told you at the top of the show, Trevor Dick is with us. He's a popular electric and acoustic violinist. He's a speaker. He's a music missionary. And we're going to talk today about him being the founder and executive director of something called Flyingbow. First of all, welcome to the program, or back to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Real honor to be here.
Well, we're so glad you're here, man.
And great to meet you, too, because I know you're a fellow missionary. You've got a real passion for mission work, and it's just so great to be on the show just to kind of get excited about this some more together.
We both have the continent of Africa connection in our blood.
Exactly.
You're not Nigeria.
I was born in Nigeria, and you have been doing mission work in Liberia, just a few countries north.
That's right.
Along the coast, so that's amazing.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're here, and just in case people haven't, put two and two together, I'm sure they have, we have violins here in front of us, as you can see, and I'm not going to play them, but you are in just a few moments. Mm-hmm. But before we get to this beautiful song, even when you were rehearsing and getting the sound check in, it was really moving, and even Lara was commenting, saying she just felt so calm and at peace as you were playing, and it's just there's something about the violin. But I want you to tell us about Flyingbow, about what it is, why you started it, and what it is that you hope to do with it, or are doing with it, really.
Yeah, thank you. So Flyingbow is a unique missionary organization for musicians and artists. And our mission is this: we're musicians and artists called by God to encourage others to discover and worship Jesus Christ. And I serve as the executive artistic director and also a music missionary. I want to define arts. When I say music and arts are all the creative arts. So you could be a poet, a painter, a sculptor, all the art forms. And so we want to use music and arts to strategically reach people for Christ. We know that innately music and arts are beautiful. God created them as our master artist. And so we're just wanting to harness the power and the beauty of the arts to introduce others to Jesus Christ. And I originally founded Flyingbow in 2005 to support the mission work that I was doing globally as a violinist and as a speaker. And I formally established it as a nonprofit through a great board of directors as well in 2010. Okay. And now we've grown to be a full sending missionary organization with 12 groups of artists. That's over 35 missionaries across Canada.
Amazing.
And they're all doing missionary work locally, right through to globally around the world. One of our artist groups just got back from Trinidad. They had a chance to minister to all the leaders of Trinidad, including the Prime Minister. And they're an indigenous group called Okama, and they just came back a couple weeks ago. And so there's just exciting things happening every week through our artists as they just try to share the gospel through music and the arts.
Okay. Well, I love what you're saying, and I have a question. Can musicians and artists, can they really be missionaries in contrast to the classical definition of what a missionary is? Like, we think missionary, somebody who goes to Africa, somebody who goes to China. So how do musicians and artists do that?
I say yes to that, but my own story is a big part of that. I initially thought when I was just a child, I was actually born in Nigeria, missionary parents. I grew up on the mission field. My dad was this amazing doctor. He built a 26-bed hospital. He tragically died in a car accident when I was just 4. I'll be telling more of my story maybe later on a show.
Yeah.
But I used to keep my dad's microscope under my bed. I'd pull it out once in a while and look at bugs and pieces of skin and gross stuff the boys would look at. And I used to tell everybody, I want to be a doctor just like my dad because God had wired me to do mission work.
Sure.
But then when God called me into music, I went through University of Toronto as a classically trained violinist at first, and then I started getting into electric violin and rock and world music. God started to make me realize and show me that I can be a missionary with the gifts that He's given me. I really believe when Jesus said, "Go into the world and share the gospel and make disciples of all men and women," that He wanted us to go with the gifts He's given us and the way He's wired us.
100%.
And so that's what I do. I simply just take my violin with me.
Okay.
And instrumental music is actually really interesting. I mean, I'm not even saying words. I'm just playing songs on an instrumental,
but the
it kind
music,
of crosses.
It conveys, though, Trevor.
Yeah.
It convey. You can feel, even though there's no physical words coming out of your mouth, you can feel the message. You can feel the heart. You're talking about how God just, He gives you the gift and you use it. I think back to Moses when he stood before God. And he said, I'm a stutterer. I can't speak the language. What can I do? And God said, what's in your hands? He goes, well, just a stick. There you go. And with that stick, with that staff, he parted the Red Seas, and he saw miracle after miracle. And God says to you, Trevor, what's in your hands? Not what's in your father's hands, not what was in your brother's hands. What's in your hand? A violin, an instrument. And you've been able to use this violin and travel and convey the love of God so beautifully. And I know in a few moments here, you're going to be performing a song for us. And I think you sent me a note saying it's never been recorded before. You've played it before, but never recorded on television before. Oh. So tell us about this song, Interlude, The Calling. What's the heart and what does it mean to you?
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was a teen, I have this distinct memory. I used to go down to the beach. We lived in Lanceville on Vancouver Island. And I used to go down the beach, sit in this cleft of this rock, overlooking the water. And I remember just God calling me. And he distinctly just called me to go into mission work. And I said, yes, Lord, I'm yours. I'll go wherever you call me to go. Whatever doors you open for me, I submit to you and your will and your authority in my life. I give you my violin, I give you my music, I give you my life, and I just want to serve you with that. And that was the start. That was the start. And then this song really comes out of the Great Commission. It comes out of a lot of different places. But embedded in this song is a great old hymn, a different melody of When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. Okay. It's the last verse I want to just quickly quote. Were the whole realm of nature mine, that were a present far too small, love so amazing, so divine, demands my soul, my life, my all. And God's calling us to give him everything, our soul, our lives, our all. And I think of Isaiah 6:8 that says, then I heard the Lord asking, whom should I send as a messenger to this people? Who will go for us? And I said, here I am, send me.
Here I am.
And so that's really at the heart and core of this song, The Calling. And
Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm about to get a private concert here from Trevor Dick, and all of you at home, enter in and enjoy. This is, for the first time on national television, Interlude, The Calling.
Just before I play, I just want to mention this is my mom's violin. Oh. And she was this incredible missionary along with my dad. It was in Nigeria. I just inherited this. My mom passed away in November of 2021 during the pandemic. And so it's just wonderful to be able to play her violin on this show. Beautiful, and so here it is, The Calling.
Wow. That was intense. That was beautiful. Thank you for that ministry. You're going to be back with us at the end of the show for some more ministry. But right now, let's go over to Laura for some more ministry.
Thanks, Joe.